All right, 30 days in Vegas, day number 4. You know it's bad when you're drinking coconut water at 9 p.m. at night. Typically, coconut water is an elixir in the morning when maybe you had a long night the night before, or maybe you have it in the afternoon to kind of detox, maybe get some electrolytes in your system and kind of purge out any toxins you put into your body. But when you're drinking it at 9 p.m., it's not good. I had a pretty long day at the pool today. Not crazy. I did not turn up, as the kids would say, but it was definitely a long day because the service at the Bellagio pool is not that good. It's not as good as you would think. Like, you'd think the Bellagio, which is one of the most elegant and one of the most luxurious hotels in the world, you think that they would smother you with service, and they do pretty much everywhere on this property, but at the pool, they really don't. Like, I saw my waitress once an hour at the pool, and that is not nearly enough. Not nearly enough to stay hydrated, and not nearly enough to stay inebriated. So yeah, it was a really, really long day at the pool today. And plus, I just had dinner at John George's Prime, which was pretty magnificent, and then I went to Lily after that. So this coconut water is just what the doctor ordered. Talk about service. So I just got my dry cleaning back, and they just put it in your room and they hang it up and they put it in this nice bag. You might be thinking, James, what the heck are you doing getting dry cleaning? Aren't you only 4 days into your trip? Didn't you pack 200 pounds of luggage? And yeah, I did. I have clothes for not days or weeks. I have clothes for months. But I actually had to bring some items here just to get dry cleaned because I am unhappy with my current dry cleaners at the moment. They just don't give like the care and attention to my clothes that I need. I wear like a lot of blacks, as you know, and blacks need special care. And also, like, a lot of my clothes are one-off. Like, if you were to like smash a button or to ruin the shirt, the buttons aren't replaceable and the shirts aren't replaceable. So like, I need my dry cleaner to be on it. This was not a problem in San Diego. San Diego dry cleaners are amazing, but in the Midwest, the dry cleaners are not of the caliber that you might find on the East or West Coast. So yeah, I brought clothes to the Bellagio just to get dry cleaned. Okay, let me ask you something. Do you get headaches when you come to Vegas? I do. Almost every time I come to Vegas. It's hit me like the last 3 or 4 trips, and it always happens like this. I always get off the plane, get to my hotel, have a great first night, maybe second night, and then the headaches hit. And I'm almost certain that these headaches are attributed to the arid environment out here, right? I mean, the environment out here is so dry and there isn't a lot of moisture in the air, and it can kind of like dehydrate you. And I'm pretty sure the headaches that I get are dehydration headaches. Now, you know that I have a cure for that. If you've watched my videos in the past, you know that I'm a big proponent of Max Salt and Imitrex. Those are 2 prescriptions for headaches or migraines, and I use those quite liberally. Not only do I use them for migraines, I use them for hangovers and basically some other things as well. By the way, don't ever do what I do, consult a doctor. I have to say that. But if I did not have Max Salt or Imitrex and I was only in Vegas for 3 or 4 days, these headaches are really, really intense. They would have me pretty much laid up. They might very well be a trip killer if I did not have the proper antidotes for them. But does it affect you as well? Do you get headaches too? And then what do you do to counteract them? Do you take prescriptions like I do? Do you have like an over-the-counter that works, or do you just tough it out and maybe drink a bunch of water? I'm really curious if this affects you as well, because a lot of people don't talk about it, but it hits me every single time, and it plagues me for at least like 3, 4, or 5 initial days. Okay, I get asked this all the time. These are my YouTube comments. These are my Instagram comments. I get DMs on this. This is one of my most asked questions, and it is, James, how do you eat and drink whatever you want? How do you not gain weight? How do you stay on shape? What's your workout regimen? And I'm going to answer that right now. And spoiler alert, I do not have a cure-all for you. I do not have a magic elixir, like a pill or a certain exercise that you can do. But I do have a process that has worked for me. And it's really important because, like, if you get in shape or diet down or get in really pristine form for vacation, you want to maintain that, right? Like, there's no sense of getting in great shape for Cancun or Vegas and then getting there and indulging 2, 3, 4 days, blowing up, and then negating all your work, right? You also want to look good while you're on vacation. So I'm going to talk about what I do to keep the pounds off and to pretty much try to stay in shape while I'm traveling, which is difficult. It's hard enough to be on a diet and to work out consistently when you are in your natural environment. When you go on the road, when everything's different time zone, you obviously don't have access to your kitchen, so you're eating out a lot. What can you do to keep the pounds off? I'm going to talk about that today. So first and foremost, this is Dieting 101. This may seem rudimentary or elementary to those of you that work out, but it's all about calories in and calories out, right? You want to make sure that you burn as many calories as you are consuming. If you eat more than what you burn, you're going to have a calorie surplus, you're going to gain weight. If you burn more than you take in, you're going to have a calorie deficit, and then you're going to lose weight. And what I try to do is the third one. I just try to maintain. I try to burn as many calories as I intake. So if I intake 3,000 calories a day, I'm trying to burn 3,000 calories a day. I'm not really trying to diet when I'm on vacation or when I'm traveling. I'm just trying to maintain. So how do I do that? The first thing I do, this is imperative. The first thing I absolutely do is walk everywhere. Okay, I walk everywhere. In Vegas and Punta Cana, for example, I'm walking between 6 to 9 miles a day. And that may seem a lot, but if you have an Apple Watch or a Fitbit or any type of electronic tracker, the steps actually add up pretty quickly. But there are things that you can do to increase your amount of steps. One thing I do is I am never, ever, ever taking elevators or escalators unless I absolutely have to. So if the restaurant is on level 4, absolutely best believe that I am taking the stairs up to the restaurant. Hard Rock, Punta Cana, for example, that campus is gargantuan. It's one of the largest campuses I've ever seen in my entire life. To walk from your room to the lobby is about 15 to 20 minutes. Most people take a golf cart. I am walking. Okay, so basically that's it. I try to walk everywhere. And when you're in Punta Cana or Vegas, the steps actually add up quite quickly. It would be a little different in Miami or Los Angeles where the hotels aren't quite as large. But all I could say is walk. If the CVS is a mile away, you're walking there and to. You're carrying your bags back. You're not taking an Uber. You are walking as much as possible. Walking is the easiest way to take off the calories, so I try to do it as much as possible. I'm trying to hit 20,000 steps a day, which is the equivalent of about 8 to 9 miles, but at a minimum, I'm walking at least 6. Okay, number 2, this is a big one. You can't have 3 meals a day. Forget about it. If you want to maintain your weight, you gotta skip meals, specifically breakfast, okay? So I'm trying to fast at least until 11 a.m. or noon. And then if I do have a little bit to eat for lunch, I try to make that as limited as possible. I want to hold out for dinner. I'm a big dinner guy. You know this. You know I eat for 2 when it comes to dinner. But what I'm not doing is eating for 2 at breakfast and for lunch. So absolutely no breakfast. If you're gonna have a little bit of lunch, just have a little bit. And of course, that also means no drinks for breakfast and no drinks for lunch. By skipping breakfast and lunch, you're gonna save at least about, when you're on vacation, maybe between 1,000 and 2,000 calories. That's pretty much a full day of calorie intake. So if you want to be able to maintain your weight, you absolutely have to become comfortable with the notion of skipping breakfast and lunch. All right, number 3, let's talk about the elephant in the room that is drinking. This may surprise you. I actually don't drink a lot, and I know that might sound counterintuitive, maybe crazy or demented based off my videos, but I'm gonna peel back the curtain a little bit. On these Vegas trips, when I'm at a hotel for 3 or 4 days, if I put 10 drinks in a 15-minute video, it looks like I'm having a drink every minute. But you have to remember, 10 drinks over the course of 3 or 4 days is only 2 or 3 drinks per day. So although it may look like I'm drinking a lot, I really don't drink that much. What I do, I just try to order the best cocktails possible so we can discover them together. And of course, I want to document them or else what's the point? So I'm really not drinking a lot. And then for those of you that really know me, you know that I only drink half of my drinks, usually. So if I order like a really indulgent drink or a drink that has like 300 or 400 calories, maybe 5 or 6, I'm not finishing it. Right now, I definitely want to appreciate it. I definitely want to have some of it, but I'm not finishing the whole thing. And by doing that, I'm only taking in half the calories, and also it's allowing me to explore more of the menu. Now, it may sound kind of sacrilegious, and trust me, I'm from Wisconsin. I know I'm pretty much shunned in that state for only drinking half my drinks, but that is a big thing for me. If you want to limit, if you want to keep the weight off and you want to limit the calories, you absolutely have to watch what you're going to drink. So there are a few other things as well, but really lastly, and this is the one that's gonna really disappoint you the most, is that I'm working out at least once or twice a day for at least an hour each session. So I can work out as much as 2 hours a day, 2 separate sessions. And if you want to be able to maintain your weight, if you want to be able to eat like I do and drink like I do and have the most amount of fun possible, that comes at a price. And that price is working out a lot. So not only am I walking between 6 and 9 miles a day, I'm also working out at least once or twice a day. That may be like 400 to 500 push-ups in my room for one session, and then like a hardcore gym session after that. It also may be 2 hardcore gym sessions. It really just kind of depends, but I'm at least working out at least minimum once a day, and if I have the time, I'm working out twice. And obviously you want to burn as many calories as possible, because the more that you burn, the more that you can intake and consume. So that's really pretty much it. You've been warned. There is no magic elixir. In fact, it's kind of a bit of a struggle, right? To skip lunch and to skip breakfast, or to limit your calories and wait until the end of the day, to walk between 6 and 9 miles, to work out at least once, if not twice. It actually is a lot of work. But if you are about your shape, and if you're about your form, and if you want to maintain your hard work that you put in, these are definitely steps you have to do in order to maintain your weight when you're traveling. So I'm not a nutritionist and I'm not a fitness expert, obviously. I'm just a guy that travels a lot, that tries to maintain his form and tries to stay in shape as best as possible. This is what works for me. If you have anything else that works for you, I'd love to hear about it. Let me know what your style is like when you go on vacation. Do you try to maintain? Do you let yourself go up maybe 5 or 10 pounds? Or are you trying to still like adhere to your diet strictly when you travel? That sounds terrible. That is not what I do, but I know there are people out there that do that. Let me know how you do it, and let me know what your diet is like when you come to Vegas, Punta Cana, or when you travel in general.